But the more we reunite with the parts of ourselves that we alienated, I think we develop a character in the Aristotelian sense. We develop something, a knowing about ourselves and what it means to be human that then helps us meet other people with where they're struggling to be human, and creates this
Mm.
wave of virtue that as I become more virtuous, my presence is able to help other people become more virtuous. And it can grow in that way, but it all is kind of dependent on confrontation with discomfort, uh,
Yeah.
making the right choice as the Tony Soprano of my own life,
Yeah.
attending to the soft feelings that I have for the ducks and its family, as opposed to and holding that up in the face of the violence that I perpetrate,
Yeah.
and being able to see which one do I want and make the hard choice of giving up the power that comes from the violence that leaves me dead inside,
Mm.
or giving up the money that I don't need for my third mansion in order to invest in something that will support the poor people, not because I'm generous and kind, even purely out of the selfishness of, if I am part of a system, I have to take care of that system for myself to be taken care of, and anything other than that is disaster for me. I often think of teachings that true morality is just like a science or a selfishness on a level above three-dimensional space and one-dimensional time. You see what is in your personal selfish best interests over a generation, over a century.
Yeah.
Um, and you're like, oh shit, like if I want things to be good for me, like I have to make them good for other people.
Yeah.
And that's the
Yeah.
only way that goodness is actually cultivated.
Yeah.
That's what morality is to me, is like, how do I create the best world? I think I'm treading into Jordan Peterson territory.
Mm.
So, credit to him for that, if that's where that came from.
Mm.
Um, he's a complicated fellow that we don't need to get into right now, but
Hmm.
I did want to, acknowledge, I
Mm.
believe he has said such things. Yeah.
Yeah,
Anyway.
yeah, and he seems interested in the sort of, yeah, personal morality, but then also what you brought it into, which is the sort of societal level and political level. And I was thinking as you were talking about, like you mentioned, how it's kind of in people's best interest, even if they're just being sort of selfish, but not narrowly selfish if they're thinking of the big picture. And I was thinking of, and Plato talks about the tyrant, and I like to use like Stalin or some, you can think of some other tyrant, and it's like